magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future. Transformers Slag Podcast.
What up, everybody? How we all doing this awesome, not just a Saturday night, not just a Saturday night Transformers Slag Podcast live stream main event, which that's what it is today, but it's also, if you've participated, it's Free Comic Book Day today. Of course, if you didn't participate in Free Comic Book Day today, try to find your local comic book store. Check them out tomorrow. Usually they kind of do a free comic book weekend kind of thing. They always have extra books. Go check them out. Support your local comic book store. Get some of the cool free books too. Just wanted to put that out there. Anyways, my name is Proto Man. This is the face that runs the place. This is the Saturday Night Podcast. Transformers Slag Saturday Night Podcast live stream main event. How we all doing? We're going to go over the news. We're going to do some super chats. We're going to crack open some more craziness from the Proto Man birthday month box. I got a crazy box from Mikey and Louie with a whole bunch of birthday presents in it. We're going to be opening them up every week leading up to my birthday, which is May 27th. So it's kind of perfectly timed that we go through the whole month of suffering with me over that. How are we all doing, everyone? Everyone's doing good. Nice to see everyone is rolling in right now. All the peeps. So let's jump into some news. It was quite a busy week. I wasn't expecting it to be that busy. I knew there was going to be one or two reveals, and we even have a little something that we're going to be showing off too. But we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about, so let's do that. And the first one is, of course, from the Studio Series. Let's talk about some Studio Series stuff. There was a lot of different Studio Series things that were shown, not officially sanctioned from Hasbro, but from in-demand toys. The images came online, and the rest was history. So let's talk about first Studio Series 90, Age of Extinction Galvatron. Now, what's awesome about this is, just like I say always, the journey, in that what we have is a character that really on paper was not supposed to have a character model that could work. He had that Transformium silliness that was going on in Age of Extinction, where clearly the people who did the models for the CG were too lazy to do some kind of transformation. So why don't they just turn into little pieces and go from one place to the next, and that'll be that. So up to that point, the best Age of Extinction Galvatron representation toy-wise is the one on the right there, which was the Voyager class Age of Extinction. They did a Japanese The Best version, which was called The Best. And that one there had slightly better paint on that one, a little bit more of a paint deco increase in budget. So that one probably is the best version, no pun intended. But then we have this one, and I'll be honest with you, I know a lot of people have been ragging on how skinny the arms are and stuff and the weirdness with the back of the trailer, but I like what I see, because I really liked that old Voyager one. I mean, it had its limitations. It had a weird backpack. You could kind of see it in the image there on the right, how much of the backpack was kind of just chilling back there. But I kind of liked the design. It was it kind of made sense if we did get a Galvatron in that Michael Bay flavor. How would it look? And it just had that evil, menacing, devilish kind of look to it, with the spark chamber in the center and being like an evil truck. It just kind of worked. I don't know why. But I dig it. I think it looks really cool. I want to see how it looks in person, because the stock images make it look amazing. The stock images make it look absolutely awesome, like the way the paint pops and everything. And I want to see if that's really how it is in person, and it's not just the stock images that make it look really nice, because unfortunately sometimes the stock images could be one of two things. They could be hand-painted prototypes, or they could be CG mock-ups with using the prototypes. They'll use like a resin prototype, and then they'll use obviously like paint shop or whatever to kind of color it in using CG, and sometimes it's not a direct representation of the final product. I know a good example of that were a lot of the Bumblebee movie toys that were with Studio Series. They used like these really nice like CG mock-ups for the stock images, and the final product, the paint was kind of flat. Not to say that the toys were garbage, they were still good, but it kind of, misleading in a lot of ways. So I dig this Galvatron. I know some people are kind of on the fence, but I think he's cool. The movie itself is a whole other story, but I like the design. Going to the less interesting of the bunch, but kind of expected, let's talk about the Studio Series 89 Bumblebee movie, Thundercracker. We knew this was coming. The second we got the Starscream, we knew that it was only a matter of time before the rest of those Seekers would get their treatment. What I do find fascinating, though, is they decided instead of just doing a straight-up 100% Studio Series Bumblebee Starscream repaint with that specific Starscream sculpt, and you see all the head sculpts in the center there, they went with the Blitzwing / Thrust sculpt of the head at least, and that's interesting. Like, I mean, if it was me personally, I would want that synergy with the Starscream mold, have all the Starscream crew, like let's say if they did Thundercracker, Skywarp, and let's say Sunstorm or Acid Storm, they would have the Starscream head sculpt, and then the cone heads would have the gas mask, like, which is what I call it, the gas mask kind of sculpt. But I mean, sure, whatever. I mean, it's Seeker Jets. They print money. The second you do a whole bunch of Seeker Jets, Seeker Jet collectors go out of their way to get them all. I know a lot of people that, like, they'll be like, here's my complete Seeker Jet collection of Deluxe classic Seekers. And then they do the Voyager ones, so they have to do that story again. Then they have to do the Masterpiece ones, and then the new Masterpiece ones, and then the new Masterpiece ones. So it's an easy way to make money. And it doesn't surprise me. And I'm sure it'll sell very well. And judging by how the animation model looks, and it's kind of hard to show here. Maybe I'll blow it up a little bit. One moment, guys. I wanted to show you here the animation model in the center. If you actually look, and it's hard to tell because, I mean, that's literally as good as it gets for showing you how Thundercracker looked. He actually looks like he had a red face. Like, he had all that coloring was correct, but I think his face was red, which reminded me of his Transformers Armada iteration, a.k.a. Super Starscream, or Powerlink Starscream, whatever you want to call Starscream's new design in the second half of Armada, that had a red face with the Thundercracker color scheme. So it looks like he had a red face, and I don't know, maybe because there just wasn't a lot to pull from, and this is, them just going, well, we can't really get a good shot of the face, so let's give it the gas mask face. Let's do the gray face, because traditionally Thundercrackers have that gray face, and call it a day. Interesting nonetheless, but probably the least exciting of the two personally for me. But again, everyone's mileage may vary, and that's totally fine. Let's talk about stolen toys. Now, we talked about it last week, and now we have some better images this week. Let's talk about the Studio Series. We don't know the number yet. Revenge of the Fallen Sideways. So we got some better images here of how he looks, as well as, more importantly, how the alt mode looks like. And as expected, because Audi was not going to play ball with the licensing, man, that alt mode looks a little rough. Again, that's the Audi R8 in the center there, how it looked in the movie, which had I believe it was called the R3 customization, which had that faux carbon fiber and everything, hood, and man, I don't know, it looks really rough. It looks really rough. I understand that, I feel like, okay, well, it's trying to homage Fast Action Battler, right? Like, it's the first time we've gotten a Fast Action Battler homage Studio Series that comes with the Revenge of the Fallen video game movie weapon, or the DS movie weapon. What's up, Aaron? So, I don't know. It's a little rough, but again, I guess it's the same thing, much like with Dino, where they couldn't use Ferrari, so there's only so much you could do with the design from an alt mode perspective, and I feel like they tried their best, but what do you expect from a character that was literally, no joke, in the movie for 38 seconds, and of those 38 seconds, 36 of those 38 were in alt mode. And so if that's the case, if it's going to be 36 seconds of the 38 in alt mode, you got to make that alt mode really hit. And they couldn't do that because of licensing. So it is what it is. Hopefully we'll get more information on this in the future and some official images. Obviously it looks a little mistransformed because the individual who stole it Didn't have the packaging, didn't have the instructions, 5-finger discount right out of Vietnam. What do you expect out of him? Broke as a joke, as he always is. Anyways, next up we have here, let's talk about some Target exclusives. So first we got to see officially from Hasbro the images for the Target exclusive Buzzworthy Bumblebee Voyager Dinobot and Deluxe class Pterosaur. Now the good thing about this is if you didn't get the Golden Disc Collection Pterosaur, this is another opportunity to get that mold. The Golden Disc Collection Pterosaur was a Amazon exclusive and it did sell out. So you do have an opportunity here to get it again in retail. It'll be Target. So if you're someone who doesn't have Target in your location, probably will show up in Toys R Us Canada. I'm not going to confirm that, but historically we've seen a lot of Target exclusives show up in Toys R Us Canada. So if you're Canadian, that's probably where you're going to see it. As for Americans, just check out your local Target. These will probably be showing up soon. They said pre-orders are not up yet, but when they do go live, they will be available on Hasbro Pulse in limited quantities, as well as their fan channels. And they'll be in all the local Targets. And again, just comparing on the right there with their original 1995 counterparts, or 96 when they were re-released again, they look pretty good. They look pretty good. I like what I see. I like what I see a lot. It looks really good. Gotta take a sip of water. It's going to be a busy day. Free Comic Book Day kept me very busy. But the big one that was revealed today from the Target exclusives, which we're going to talk a lot about this one, is that of Red Cog. Now, I feel like I've talked a lot about this guy already. Again, Cog was a Fortress Maximus accessory / character add-on for the original 1987 Fortress Maximus. We got Cog in Siege as a Deluxe class weaponizer figure, and it was only a matter of time when, hey, if you take that Cog mold, you could probably get a Grand Maximus repaint out of it. You could get a Brave Maximus repaint out of it. There's a lot that could be done with that mold. Of course, we got even a Power Dasher out of it when it was all said and done. But now we have Red Cog, the Grand Maximus homage, or Redukogu, or Kogu, as he was called in his Japanese iteration. He actually didn't appear in the Master Force cartoon that Grand Max was in, so he didn't really have a new name or any fiction. This is literally probably his first iteration in any kind of major fiction outside of his original toy. So big deal, pretty cool. But the big thing about him is that he's going to be priced as a Voyager class, because we've seen now the box art, and the box that he comes in is a Voyager-sized box. So it's kind of doing the, how do I put this? It's kind of doing the Studio Series 86 Hot Rod situation, where you have a Deluxe class figure, but with a whole bunch of accessories that then bump it up to a Voyager price point. And the current Voyager price point is $33.99, as opposed to $24.99, which he would have been if he was a Deluxe. So keep that in mind too, that he's going to be a little more expensive because he comes with a whole bunch of weapons. Now, Mark from Hasbro posted a whole bunch of images of how this is going to work, what these weapons are, where they come from, and everything like that. So starting with this, he's going to have paper ties, and he's going to have a paper tissue bag that the weapons will be stored in. This is a new initiative for the environment, to save money for Hasbro, but also to save the environment, not use plastic to normally store the instructions and the weapons. So at the bottom of your Voyager class packaging, there'll be a little ball of tissue, and inside it will be all the accessories. And what are all these accessories? Well, you could see on the bottom there a whole bunch of barrels and a whole bunch of hilts that could be combined together to make a whole bunch of different guns. You got a grenade on the top there that could split in half, and then it creates some male and female plug ports that you could then post onto your character if you want, or put them back together and make a grenade. Or you even have this long kind of purplish barrel, which I'll explain in a second, that could also be used for other stuff. But what are these? What are these things? Where do they come from? Well, here's the whole skinny. So one of those barrels is a plug point that you could put on the back of your pretty much Earthrise RC. And then you could take either Red Cog or the original Cog and do the classic Episode 5 weaponizer attack that RC had when they were going to visit Soundwave. We also have the, I guess we'll call it the repair gun that Ratchet used in episode, I believe it was episode 4 with Impactor. No, it was episode 2, excuse me. He used it in episode 2 with Impactor. You have the grenade weapon, which both Elita-One used on Shockwave, but also what's interesting is if you go back to season 2, episode 14 of Transformers Prime, Wheeljack had a very similar kind of grenade bomb that he used that he was going to put inside Laserbeak and put into the Decepticon HQ and cause some trouble. And it looks very similar to that too. So if you're a big Transformer Prime fan, you actually have an official accessory to kind of upgrade your Wheeljack figure on top of all of that. But what are the other stuff too? So that purple little barrel on the bottom left there, that actually was the Energon reserves of the Autobots. You only get one, but you have RC here in episode 5 holding 3 of them. So I guess you have to buy 3 red cogs, I don't know, to kind of reenact it perfectly. And then you even have Elita-One's long rifle cannon. So that's another one. That's another one's really cool too. Mark has it posed there, of course, with the soon to be coming out Legacy Elita-One. But of course, you're supposed to use it with your Netflix Elita-One to make it more accurate. But it is what it is. I mean, pretty cool stuff otherwise. Pretty cool stuff otherwise. I like what I see. It's going to be pretty cool to see what they do in the future now with these weapon packs, that you could have all this character with them. And it doesn't really show, but a lot of them are painted. There was a lot of paint deco and paint effort that was put into these weapons. So that means in the future, we won't just have something that will be like, let's say, a one molded. Because like here at the bottom, these are all molded in resin prototype, which were done by Hasui-san. Shogo Hasui was the one who developed all the weapons for this weapon pack. Shogo Hasui is legendarily known for reinventing the Masterpiece line after MP10 and then doing all the Autobot cars and stuff. And so he was the one responsible for all of these weapons, and he did an incredible job. And after, the weapon packs we got before were monocolored, one kind of plastic, molded in one color, and that was that. This, it's still molded in one color, but they put so much paint onto them that it gives it that unique kind of flavor to it, that these could be anything they need to be. So you could have something that's completely molded in black for all the weapons, and then give it just enough paint and yellow and everything to do, like, let's say, Cheetor's gut gun, or do some kind of supplemental material for some other Deluxe or Voyager class figures that didn't get their classic weapons. I like this a lot. It gives a backdoor kind of way that you could save some of those figures from some of the boredom that would have been of, the limitations and the boringness that I always tell you about, the budget and the limitations of the price point. Well, not anymore. Not anymore. Pretty cool stuff. And speaking of expensive price points, let's talk about, this is the one right here. Masterpiece MP56 G1 Trailbreaker. This was a slide that showed up in Singapore from the distributors, and it is a pre-order form to let people know that the pre-orders for this is going to be live May 11th, Singapore time, but obviously Japan time and everywhere else on the other side of the globe. So we have our Masterpiece Trailbreaker, which I feel for the past 5 years they've been hyping up this guy. I could find old TFW news reports about, the next Masterpiece is going to be Trailbreaker. And that was 5 years ago. And then we had a whole bunch since then. He is going to be, though, 100% the next Masterpiece because he is MP56. And just a reminder, the Nightbird that we just got recently from the RC mold was MP55. So he will indeed be the next Masterpiece that comes out. Now, I think he looks really good. They went with that animation accurate kind of design with the higher chest. I almost feel like it's a faux chest in the robot mode, but I really like what they did. Interchangeable faces for different reactions. He has a little spy satellite from More to Meets the Eye Part 2 when he was spying on the Decepticons. He has this crystal kind of thing, which I swear, and I posted the image here too at the bottom just to kind of make sense of it. I think it's the crystal of power from Fire on the Mountain. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know what else it could be, unless I'm missing something. He also comes with a animation accurate grill, so you could have a more toy accurate grill, which is the one that's shown on the vehicle on the top left. But on the bottom left there's an animation accurate grill, which has like the white painted in kind of grill and it doesn't have chrome. So you could kind of switch between the two to have that more anime accurate kind of look. A bunch of other accessories that I have no idea what they are because it's hard to tell from, like, literally this is as big as the image gets, and I've blown it up even more. I also put on the bottom right there just to show you guys what Hoist's animation model looks like, because Hoist and Trailbreaker had two very different kind of animation models. And considering what the goal of Masterpiece is, mostly is to be animation accurate, this guy's probably not going to be repainted into Hoist. I think if we do get a Hoist, it's going to be a brand new mold completely. They'll probably use some engineering cues from this one, obviously, but it's going to be a brand new mold. They're going to have to do the more stout, kind of fatter Hoist design that it is. But I still think it looks cool. I still think it looks really, really cool. If they do a Hoist, again, I'm showing the Diaclone DK2 and all the others there. I mean, they could probably do some toy accurate stuff and everything. The Hoist mold is the one that I think is going to really open up the repaint potential, because if you do a toy accurate Trailbreaker, it's going to have to be done from the Hoist mold that really looks like the original toy, that's a little more wider. If you're going to do Diaclone homages, you're going to want to use the Hoist Hoist mold design, because that's more accurate. So pretty cool. Again, pre-orders are going to be going May 11th on the West Coast. We'll see what happens, how much it'll cost and everything like that. Again, they pack in the accessories to kind of keep that price up, but I think it also adds to the value and to the budget and to be able to do the best they possibly can. I know there's a lot of people that are scrambling to sell their third-party ones, so it's no surprise. So pretty cool stuff. Check it out, May 11th. And last but not least, and this was today, let's talk about Shattered Glass. So, finally we have the official images of this guy. So back at the beginning of April, there was a leaked image online from the Korean safety website of the front of the box of this guy. We didn't really get a good look of the robot mode or the head or anything because it was just in the box. And that was that. We had the leaked image from Mark's desktop back in December of last year. And now we finally have some official images of this Shattered Glass Voyager class blaster from the Kingdom Blaster. Only disappointment that I have here is that face sculpt that we saw that leaked online, and it's the image there that's in the middle with the smirking face, that evil face. What happened with that? Did that not get used in the end? So for people that aren't aware, there was a Kingdom Blaster that ended up with a different face sculpt on his head with a smirking face. And this isn't the first time stuff like that has happened, where the wrong head sculpts were put on the factory and then painted. That happened also with T-Rex, with the Kingdom version, where he had an alternate head sculpt for the Megatron mold. And it's the same thing here. So what's the story, bro? Is this going to be the twin cast head sculpt? Or is this also going to be one of those cases where it's going to end up in limbo? Because that Megatron one ended up not going nowhere. Didn't end up on the T-Rex mold. Didn't end up on the Jurassic Park one. It didn't end up on the Megatron one. Unless there's going to be yet another repaint. Like a toy-accurate Beast Wars Megatron. I sure hope not. Aaron Archer says, Nemesis Blaster. Love it. Looks great, though. I think it looks great. But what's really cool, too, and it's the first time we're getting to see it properly from all the images that we saw online, is the Shattered Glass Rewind. Because Shattered Glass Rewind is quite the deep dive of homages and everything. So, Shattered Glass Rewind. Now, how it works is their logic, because this was based off of an old eHobby idea, was, okay, so Shattered Glass Rewind. So yeah, let's, the evil cassettes would be like Rumble. So we should do Rumble colors for Shattered Glass Rewind, right? But they're like, yeah, but that'd be too much on the nose and be kind of boring. So why don't we do the G2 Rumble GoBot that was unreleased colors for Shattered Glass Rewind? And that's what they did with here, I'm going to bring my fingers in here, for the original eHobby version, and that's what these colors are based on. If you look carefully with the eHobby version on the back there, also to kind of homage the G2 Rumble, was on G2 Rumble, it actually had Vinny's Pizza and Jerry's Motors. And on the G2 Rumble, on the Shattered Glass Rumble, they put Vinny's Motors. Now, Vinny is a nod to Vinny, a.k.a. Vincent DeLeva, who was a Kenner employee that kind of was like one of the big co-creators of Beast Wars. He was the guy who named the Maximals. He was the guy who came up with the name of Beast Wars. He actually based it off of the Kenner Terminator Future Wars line and everything like that. So it was kind of like an homage to Vinny. And I'm curious if the actual the actual updated one here has Vinny's name on it anywhere. Probably not. That'd be like a way too deep cut throwback. But I mean, at least it has the colors. I appreciate that they did that. They could have been lazy and just done like, a boring kind of color scheme. They maintained the original Shattered Glass colors with its nice little homage to the G2 GoBot that never got released. The mold got released years later in Robots in Disguise. But really cool stuff. Very excited about this. Blaster was my first Transformer, so the Shattered Glass one is a given. I think it looks really, really good. Really, really good. I like it. But what happened with that face sculpt? I don't know. Evan, Mark, if you're watching this, what happened with the face sculpt, bruh? Put it on your Instagram or something. What happened with that face sculpt? Is it gonna be on Twincast? What's happening? And that's more or less it for the news. Again, I just want to reiterate, Saturday. So if you can, tomorrow, go to your comic book store. I know it'll be a day late, but sometimes they have leftovers. And go support your local comic shop. I went over there. I bought a bunch of books. They're all on my nightstand upstairs. I'm going to be reading a lot. I picked up a lot of... Because my comic store that I go to, shout out to Mark, he does... What he always does is you get 3 free comic books of the free comic book selection from Free Comic Book Day. And then he takes his dollar bin and he's like, you could take 10 from those. And I use that as an excuse to read garbage books. All these indie books and stuff like that. Some books that are not garbage that would probably be interesting. So like in those dollar bin books, he had Steel #1 from the 90s. Never read it, never owned it. I owned Steel's first appearance, which was that die cut cover there from Return of Superman. But I never read his original, so I picked that up. I picked some Marvel Age books. I picked up a whole bunch of weird stuff, some Wolverine books, all in the dollar bin. And then I bought some stuff too. A lot of good stuff. Again, go to your local comic book store tomorrow, support them, keep them alive in this crazy world that we live in where comic book stores are dying on the vine. And Free Comic Book Day is at least once a year where they could smile and be happy. And speaking of the past and it being awesome, we also have the latest episode of the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. And when you're done listening to my voice today, if you still want to get a little bit of toy action and hear my silly voice, as well as the sultry voice of Aaron Archer, check out the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer on YouTube here. Today, we are talking about one of the most important 90s toy lines for the DC Universe, that of Total Justice, which brought the DC toys into the modern age after being stuck in the 70s for literally 20 years. Don't even get me started on that. So a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool molds, and a really good listen. It's a visual podcast, like I always say, so it's not just the two of us talking. We post a whole bunch of images on the screen, prototype images, sketch images, pitches, all kinds of cool behind-the-scenes stuff. So you get a real historical lesson, not only just in DC and its action figures, but just the history of toy making in general. And this was all during the Kenner era when Beast Wars was part of Kenner, and so was the Batman line and all kinds of cool stuff. check it out when you have time. Again, the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Throw it into your Google machine or on YouTube. It'll pop up. It's good stuff. And go subscribe. If you're not subscribed, man, come on. We gotta hit 1,000 on that channel. That's my goal. We gotta hit 1,000. And that's more or less it. So let's do some sponsors. If people notice, I know some people are talking about my new Shockwave pin that we have here today. Like my boy Shockwave. Yeah, let me just turn him that way. We have a whole bunch of new pins from Symbiote Studios, as well as t-shirts and plush. Again, symbiotestudios.com, the sponsor of this podcast, along with Hasbro. And they have a whole bunch of new pins. And today we are going to be showing off a new pin today. On the website right now to pre-order, we got Starscream. Looking cool with his little smirk there, about to throw Megatron out of Astro Train. Wanna bet? So check it out. Pick up your Starscream pin. I'm going to probably wear him next week. Look how big he is. Look at that pin. And these are metal. These are not cheap plastic pins or enamel. These are metal pins. These are super high quality. And that's on symbiotestudios.com right now to pre-order. Get the Starscream pin, as well as the other ones. These are all the new pins. The Optimus, the Bumblebee, the Grimlock, like the t-shirt I'm wearing today, which is also part of Symbiote Studios. Get their Grimlock t-shirt. Soundwave, and of course, the Shockmaster. He's awesome too. Or you can get the Cat Bravo stuff, the Cat Bravo Transformer crossovers. Awesome stuff. Really, really good. And of course, if you don't like Transformers and you want other ones, there's the Power Ranger Helmet Series pins. There's the Magic the Gathering pins. The My Little Pony pins and plush are actually live right now too. I actually have those also. I just didn't decide to bring them. But there's the My Little Pony pins also. There's the G.I. Joe stuff. The G.I. Joe ones come with, I believe the Snake Eyes comes with a Snake Eyes pin. All kinds of cool stuff. Check it out, symbiotestudios.com, the official Transformers and Hasbro license pins, plush, t-shirts, everything like that. symbiotestudios.com. Oh, and still more to come. Stay tuned for that. More reveals to come in the near future. Maybe next month, maybe next week. We'll see. Well, we already revealed Starscream. Maybe next week. Maybe we'll show off a new plush or something. We'll see. We'll see how we feel. I got my Shockwave today, so I'm happy. And that's more or less it. Now, next up, what we're going to do, while we do the super chats, because we're going to take some super chats from the audience here today. But we also have, if you guys saw last week, we have a huge box here that was in the P.O. box of a whole bunch of presents that were sent by Mikey and Louie. They were all wrapped up, and I had to wait. I decided that, like, all the month of May, my birthday month, I'm going to open up a couple of the presents here live on the stream, and you guys could check them out. So, I don't know. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of these, so I'm just going to go through some of them with you guys. I guess I'll start with this one, because some of them are pretty obvious. No offense. Like you could take a guess, guys, what this is probably. So this has got to be Siege, Earthrise, or Kingdom something. For sure. It's more of the stuff that's kind of like this that are conspicuous, that make me wonder, like, what is this? What is this? What is this? So let's open it up together. You guys get to see it first. I probably should close my water beforehand. Make a mess when I suddenly rip it open. So let's do this. What is it? Oh my goodness, is that the the transforming Transformers Beast Wars Mutating card game? A vintage classic from back in the day. The very first Transformers card game, actually. And what I love is that now I could play it. And I could bring it to TFCon and people could play it. Oh my goodness. So what was cool about this card game, it looks like it's complete too, was it was the first time we ever got to see, like, the box art of the alt modes of characters. So, like, here's Cheetor, right? And we're all familiar with that classic box art of Cheetor. But they also did alt mode art. And they did that for every single character, even non-show characters. So here's like Baboom or Apache for your Beast Wars 2nd kind of stuff. And then there's Baboom, looking kind of ripped there. I don't know. Was he a mandrill, right? Aren't they more kind of round? Look at him. He's kind of look like he hit the gym. Looks like Macho Man there. Ooh, yeah. And then here's one. A Black Arachnia. Cheetah Bra Black Arachnia, of course. And then you got Alt Mode. These were really cool. And like, again, the best thing about it is especially like the non-show characters. So again, like Buzzsaw. There we go. Come on, zoom. You got Buzzsaw, and then you got Alt Mode. Boom, look at that. Isn't that cool? That's really cool. I dig those a lot. Thank you again, Mikey and Louie. Really cool. Really, really cool. Oh, gotta put away everything. I'm going to try to figure out how to play this game proper, and then maybe I'll bring it to TFCon during one of the card game playing rooms, because there's going to be one for sure, at least in the USA show. I can't confirm the Canadian one. That's something that we'll have to figure out. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Mutating card game. Back in the day. I'm going to have... You should have saw last week. There was so much wrapping paper. Let's grab another one. This one here. Inconspicuous shape. Weird one. All right, let's open it up. Whoa. Are these Nintendo Switch games? Oh, Jesus. So we have Monopoly Risk and Trivial Pursuit. Oh, Trivial Pursuit I'd be good at. For Nintendo Switch. Oh, this one looks cool. Greek? Looks like an RPG or an adventure RPG. Oh, this looks cool. Greek. Because I got a Switch recently. These are really cool. Of course, this one's going to be fun. Mario and the Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That's really cool. Awesome. Thank you, Mikey and Louie. Giving me more stuff to play. You know what's amazing with the Switch? You don't even have to own games, and they have like tons of really great free games you could download. Oh my goodness. That one's really cool. This one's interesting. I've never heard of this. Is it any good? Memories of Azure. Side-scrolling single-player game with hand-drawn animation. Looks really good. I like that. This reminds me of... what was it? Something of Odin, which was a PS2 game back in the day. That was like a side-scrolling, cell-based kind of open RPG. That's really cool. This one really intrigues me. Because I'm a big RPG guy. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Now I got more games to play. That's awesome. Oh man. Did not expect that. And Monopoly. Monopoly for the Switch. I guess we got to get the Hasbro plug, eh? Where's the Hasbro logo? It's on the back there. There we go. Brought to you by Hasbro and what's the other? Is that Drip Drop Studios? That does the other one. Let's see. Tom Laney says, ouch. Alrighty, next up, let's open maybe one more, and then we'll take some super chats, and then we'll open some more later. What do we got here? What about this one? This one's heavy. It has that cool Wreck-It Ralph. I like that. Let's open this, and it's a brown. Oh wait a minute, is this similar to the mug that I got before? Or is it something else? Oh, now the weight. Is this also a mug? I like that. What do we got? It is a mug. And it's a mug of... Oh, I like this one. It's a mug of RC. And it's pink. That is cool. That is a cool mug. I like that one. Well, that's a keeper. That one I don't even want to use. It's so nice. Goes good with Bret Hart. Bret Hart mug. The pink and black attack. That's really cool. That is really cool. I like the Autobot logo. That's a nice mug. That's a lot nicer than the Starscream one. Starscream one was nice too because it had the G1 art on it with Megatron. which I'm also kind of partial to because I really like that G1 art. That's a cool mug. That one I really like. That one I almost don't even want to use it. I want to use it as like a pencil holder or something so it doesn't get damaged. Odin Sphere, thank you. That was the name of the game. That's been a while. Let's open up one more, guys. Should we open up one more? Or we'll take some super chats. What should we do? What should we do? Should we open up one more or take some super chats? I'm trying to see. Let's grab a weird shape. It's a weird shaped one. Don't break it. I'm going to put it back in the box for now to keep it safe and everything. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I drink a lot of tea. So that's usually my go-to. Let's see. Let's see. Which one do I grab? This one here. This one I'm kind of worried what this might be. Because this looks like it's pop vinyl shaped. So... do I open up this one? It's a pop vinyl, isn't it? Yes. Oh, it's Megatron. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. It's a pop vinyl of Megatron. What's this one? This is the GameStop exclusive, which I'm probably here. I'm gonna make a pop vinyl fan scream. Ah. Because to pop vinyl people, if it's open, it's not worth money anymore. Ah! Is there any articulation with these things? I've never opened a pop vinyl. Even my Bret Hart one I have sealed. I never opened it. Does it have? Okay, it has an articulated. So it does this. And that's it. That's you pop vinyl people are crazy. Hundreds of dollars spent on these things. Thank you, Mikey and Louie. Oh my goodness. Now I own how many now? I have the Shockwave. Shockwave's back there. That one I just keep it in the box, just ironically. It was a convention exclusive that they got at Toys R Us and it was on clearance. They had so many of them. Please do not send more pop vinyls. They take a lot of space, and that space that could be dedicated to a Transformer toy that actually does something. I appreciate the present, but I know you're trolling. Oh my goodness, it's cool though. At least it has the Sherman Dam Energon mace. GameStop exclusive. How many exclusives did they do of these ones? This is crazy. Crazy, man. It's crazy with them. And now I have Duke also. Oh my goodness. Please tell me there's not another one. I don't know. It doesn't look like there's any other pop vinyl shaped ones here. What's this one? This one's all like the box is falling apart here. Should we open up this one? I can't even tell what it is because the back here, but let's open up this. Oh, nice. It is a G1 Transformers 3D puzzle. So I actually own this one, but it's missing practically everything, the one that I have. So hopefully... Oh, jeez. Apparently it's more than just the 3D puzzle inside. Goodness gracious. There's a whole bunch of Transformers in here. Good Lord. Everything's falling out. Oh my goodness. What is in here? There's all kinds of like third-party cassette bots. I think these were convention exclusives. Little Starscream die-cast figure here. A beautiful, because I love her. She's awesome. Strong arm. A whole bunch of stuff in here. What is this? Like some third-party pieces? You're going to have to explain this all to me, Mikey, afterwards. Oh my goodness. What is this? It's all these like third-party dudes. Oh, one of the Robots in the Sky's mini-cons. Crazy! Crazy. Oh my goodness. You guys are killing me. My Sundays are always spent making sense of all of this afterwards. At least the puzzle pieces. This is the most important. That's the most important thing to me is the puzzle pieces. Because I need to... you know what? That's going to be probably one of my next Instagram photos. I'm going to build the 3D puzzle of Starscream. Because for sure the pieces I'm missing got to be in there. And then we could put them together. Now I need to get that Blue Streak one. And then they also did a Ultra Magnus that had an Optimus Prime color scheme. It was, but not like Powered Convoy. It's kind of a long story. All right. I think we'll take a breather from the presents for the time being. So much. So much. All right, one more. One more. You know what scares me, though, Mikey? You guys sent me, like, ones with boxes like this that are heavy. And that scares me. I don't even want to open those yet. That's nuts how big that one is. I don't know. Which one should I open? Let me see. What do we got here? We have so... You have to understand, there's so many here. All right, let's open up this one here because it's got Super Mario on it. And that's always good luck, right? Alrighty. Where do I grab it from? I'm gonna grab it from here. Because I want you guys to see it first. Actually, I could rip it from here. Okay. Ugh. Ready? Ready, guys? Where can I grab it from? Okay. 1, 2, 3, and... What the hell is this? What? Whoa, Nintendo Switch what? What the hell is this? Oh, snap. What? Oh, my goodness. It's that Super Mario home circuit racing thing. Oh, man. That's crazy. Now I'm going to drive the cat nuts in the house. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. That's real cool. They came with other designs, too, right? Remember, I think they came with Luigi also? Let me get the paper off of here. Ugh. Yeah, seriously, everyone's like, you should give Mikey the address. Guys, keep in mind, a lot of the giveaways that we do here on the podcast are through Mikey and Louie. They help us out with a lot of that stuff. So give them a lot of love, guys. They have a really cool website with a lot of 3D printed stuff you should check out. Look at that. Home circuit. Holy moly. That is crazy. Jeez. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to be, like, so busy with the Switch now. I don't know what I'm going to do. Does this come with a game, too? Like, how does this work? I forget. Is the game built in, or do you need to have Mario Kart also? I don't remember. Someone comment below. I do not remember with that. When I remember seeing the commercial. There's a Funko inside? Oh, no. You guys, please tell me there's not a Funko inside. No, there's no Funko inside. I swear that would have been the ultimate troll. I swear that would have been the ultimate troll. You imagine they send they send like a Nintendo Switch box. And it's like, oh my god, they sent me like a Nintendo Switch. Oh, it's the OLE whatever version. Oh my god, it's amazing. Open it up, it's just Funko Pops. That happened. My friend Andy, Cooksucks, follow him on Twitch, cooksucks.com and Cooksucks on Instagram and everything. My friend Andy, he was doing like a box opening with his P.O. box. His fans sent him a bunch of stuff. And someone sent him a flat screen TV. And he was like, oh my god, it's a flat screen TV. He's super excited, everything. And then he picks up the box. He's like, it's kind of light for a flat screen TV. He opens it up. It was all adult diapers. Like not used, like sealed, but adult diapers. It's somewhere in his old post. It's hilarious. You should see his reaction. He's just like, oh my god. We got a super chat from Detective Ferret for $5. Was there ever a Starscream figure that has not been repainted? That's a good question. Yes, in the sense that it became a Starscream figure and then was never... No, that's not true, because even that one got repainted. That one got repainted. That one got repainted. Let's go with Transformers, Armada, Mcdonald, Starscream. He didn't get repainted. We'll start with that one. That didn't get repainted, so Mcdonald, Starscream didn't get repainted. I think all the Mcdonald Starscreams didn't get repainted. Now that I think about it. All the Cybertron ones did. Energon did. Unicron Trilogy, G1. I mean, there's got to be something outside of those McDonald's ones. Maybe, probably even the Fast Action Battlers, the movie Starscreams. I think every movie Starscream mold got at least one repaint. My goodness. There's a lot. But I think the only ones are just those fast food ones. Because I know Armada Starscream didn't get repainted. That's the Jump Starter bootleg one, if you want to call it that. That's a good question. That's a really good question, Detective Ferret. That's a really good question. I'm going to say, oh, no, wait. Legends Animated Starscream didn't get repainted. No, wait, it did get repainted. It did. It got a repaint that had a darker color scheme afterwards in the Universe line. No, that doesn't count either. Shit, no. That's a good question. That's a great question. My goodness. A Starscream that doesn't have a repaint. Even his titaniums, the 6-inch and the 3-inch had repaints. A Starscream that wasn't a repaint. That wasn't repainted. That's a tough one. It has to be Action Master Starscream. First of all, it's Action Master Thundercracker anyhow. Action Master Starscream had Action Master Thundercracker afterwards. Jeez. I don't know. Classic Pretender Starscream almost got repainted. There's a long story with that one. But yeah, it technically... The Pretender shell didn't get repainted. The inner robot did. The inner robot did see use again in repaints. It got a mild repaint in the UK under the Classics Heroes line. But the shell didn't. So yeah, Pretender. I guess that's the only one really of the mainline kind of stuff. And the funny thing with that was Fun Publication was playing with the idea of doing Metal Hawk, but using the Pretender Starscream mold because they couldn't have access to the Metal Hawk mold. There was, remember, we got the Action Master Megatron, and it used the Grand Maximus mold Pretender shell. E-Hobby Cloud exclusive Starscream came from a repaint, though. Otherwise, I would have said Machine Wars, because Machine Wars Starscream came from Skyquake, and then later on, became King Atlas in Universe. I would have said that one also, but I don't know. It's the same thing like ATB Starscream, which came from Smokescreen, aka the G2 Smokescreen and Dreadwing, which then later became Starscream, unpainted, completely the same in Beast Wars 2nd. Is there any reissues of Pretenders? No, unfortunately. The closest thing we have to reissues would be like the Bakon stuff, and it's not really reissues. They're repaint reissues. There was another question I saw somewhere. Proto, what is with this new cardboard packaging? How do they get the figure into the new cardboard backing without warping the cardboard? The figure is partially assembled when it's put into the cardboard. What they do is they take the figure that's partially assembled in the factory. It's shipped to the Longueuil factory, which, all these Transformer things I opened and not a single one of them was modern packaging. Wait, hold on. So, yeah, Vietnam. You guys see there, Vietnam? And then you have, at the top there, you have Hasbro Pawtucket for Ohio, and then you got Canada Longueuil. Longueuil is the packaging facility. So the partially assembled figures, give you a good example. So like this dude right here of Shadow Panther, the legs are partially assembled and shipped to the factory, and then they put, anyone who owns this figure of the Cheetor, they know that when you see it it's actually put like that in the cardboard, and then it's held in like that. So it's partially assembled, and then they assemble it with the cardboard, and that's how the cardboard doesn't get warped. And one day in the future, we're not going to have that at all. We won't have to worry about it. Mike Rosen with the member question. Mike Rosen wants to know, do you have to have the Target card for the red cog? From what Mark mentioned, it's not a red card exclusive, this one. It's a Target exclusive, but not a Target red card exclusive. I'm going to assume that the red card stuff didn't sell well as they had hoped, Target. Like, Road Rage, I know, like, there was just tons of them afterwards that, like, it was a red card exclusive, and then all of a sudden they were all in stores. Like, you could just buy it in stores. So I think that that was the case. It's going to just be a regular exclusive, much like the Buzzworthy Bumblebee stuff. It's just going to be a store exclusive. I hope so, because that's I'm so excited about that. That's so cool, that thing with all the weapons. Like, to me, that's exciting just because of what it's going to do in the future too for other Transformer product. Like, there's so much going on there. You want me to open another present? You guys are killing me. This. What do I open? There's a box at the bottom here. What's this one? These are all, these are all very obvious what these are. That's why I'm kind of like hesitant to open these ones right away, because it's pretty clear what they are. I'm gonna put these ones aside. There's I think there's 4 of them like that. Yeah. Oh no, maybe not. What's this one here? This one's. This one is a little shaped differently. Oh, wait a minute. This is Legacy. This is a Legacy shaped one. I could tell by the shape, and I haven't gotten any Transformer Legacy stuff yet. Should we open it? First of all, who could it be? That's the question. Chat, what do you think is inside of this one? Ohio, let's go. We got so many Ohio members. What is inside this one, chat? Because I recognize this slant here for the box art that Marcelo does. Everyone is saying Blaster. Now, who's my first Transformer toy? Exactly. I think Mikey and Louie has been paying attention. RC. Maybe it's RC. Watch, I open it up and it's just a Funko Pop. I open it up and it's like, and there's like a Funko Pop of like, what's his name there? Frankie Funko? What's the name of the Freddy Funko? Funko within a slanted box. The drag strip. That'd be cool if it was drag strip. I like my Formula 1 Transformers. All right, we're going to open it. Ready, guys? Ready? It's got to be a Voyager, judging by the size. Hold on. Let me just get a good grip of it here. And then you guys could... Oh, it's Blaster. It's Blaster. This is my first time, guys, ever messing with anything Legacy in person. I've never even seen them in stores. So you guys get to experience this with me together for the first time. So this is Legacy packaging. Okay. See, this is... Look at... That's crazy. So, exposed... I've never seen any of the the Legacy stuff at all. I've seen the exposed packaging for Cyberverse, for the Deluxes. So that would be, look, so you could pretty much steal You know, like there's like you could barely see from the lighting, but you know there's rewind in there, and then you could just I don't know. I personally, as much as I would hate losing beautiful package art, if they have to go the Generation Selects route to kind of protect product, I mean, it's got to be it. But that's really cool. That is really cool. There's going to be a beautiful photo shoot in the future of Blaster. That is really nice. Thank you, Mikey and Louie. This is awesome. So they have like the packaging like this for the art. Then you got Marcelo's art here too. They double it up and then they put the boom box. I like that because that's the old school kind of way that Transformers used to do it. It was always whatever it's packed in, the art has to be the opposite of it. That was the rule. Even back in G1, if it was packaged in robot mode, the art had to be the alt mode. If it was packaged in car mode, the art had to be the robot mode. And they kept that tradition for years. And then somewhere along the line, I think when the movie toys came out, they just said, forget it. Like everything's just going to be robot mode art from that point on. So that they're going back to that tradition, which I like. I like that a lot because Marcelo does really good work. And he made my boy Blaster look amazing. No way, two can play. Sick 'em. We got a YouTube member, downright superb, 8 months YouTube member. Will G2 Shattered Glass also return in Fiction 2? There is going to be... will G2 Shattered Glass? Are you saying like G2 colored Shattered Glass stuff? Because there is confirmed we're going to be getting a new series of comic books by IDW for Shattered Glass. It will continue the quest to control the Titans, which could be a teaser at what a future Shattered Glass product might be. So we'll see what happens with that one. As for G2 colors, I mean, if we get G2 Sideswipe, if we get Shattered Glass Sideswipe, he'll have G2 Drench colors. And there is a Sideswipe mold. You know, if they take that, Battle Across Time Sideswipe that everyone really wants. And, the one that came with the 2-pack with Skywarp. And do that in the G2 Drench colors, then you got Shattered Glass Sideswipe. Some big brain stuff going on here. Chananman. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name, Chanan. With the $5 super chat. Love the podcast, Proto. Really want to know when you think we'll be seeing Black Arachnia TM2 remake. I would love that. Also, what's your P.O. Box address? I don't publish the P.O. Box address publicly because I don't really want to encourage people to send me stuff. But if you really must, just PM me on Twitter or on Instagram, and I'll send it to you privately if it's something you gotta send me something. But I don't like to leave it out there just because it's going to encourage people to send stuff, and I don't want them to have to if they don't need to. I know that my friend Ego Raptor, when he put out his P.O. Box, people were sending him thousands of video games, and he was just like, oh my God. he closed that P.O. Box very quickly. Let's put it that way. Mike Rosen with the super chat for 5 bones. Also, to go back to your question, Shannon, when will we be seeing a TM2 Black Arachnia? I would love that. I love TM2 Black Arachnia's design. I think that what we're going to see first is they want to finish the season 1 guys. Then they're going to look at, season 2 stuff. So obviously it's going to be Transmetal 1 first. But considering that Mark said they always want to have a female, they're going to have to fit in something, and there's no TM1 females officially. I mean, unless you do like Air Razor non-show design. Black Arachnia TM1 Mcdonald's design, I guess, which that's a stretch on both ends in my opinion. But I think we'll get her sooner or later. That's an iconic design, really cool. Transmetal 2 driver. She had her removable bra with the original toy. I'm looking at it right now. And then you can do the RC repaint afterwards. So you also got a built-in repaint. So it's something that doesn't go to waste. It's not like a one-and-done mold. It actually has some history that you could do stuff with it afterwards. I would dig it. I would dig it a lot. I love Black Arachnia. As a kid, I remember like watching the show and going like, she's okay. And then as years go by, I'm like, I appreciate, all that she's done for like the female side of Transformers and stuff. She was the first ever retail female Transformer toy in the West. I mean, there was Minerva in Japan, but in the West, we never had a female retail Transformer toy until Black Arachnia. So she was a big deal. Mike Rosen for the $5 super chat wants to know, I wonder if the Titan class figure can hold Blaster in boombox mode. Well, my friend, I'm going to definitely try to see if that could happen. I have a good chunk of the Titans. I don't have all of them. But if they do Titan class, as I think they might do, Metro Titan, aka Shattered Glass Ultramax, Shattered Glass Metroplex, we'll definitely try to do that when that happens, for sure. Where are we at here? Where are we at? Everyone wants Silverbolt. Yeah, no, with Silverbolt, I think, personally, when they're going to start doing the Season 2 guys, I think that even before they do the Transmetal ones, I think they're going to do Fusors. Just because I know that they want to get one Fusor out there. And when you think of all the show Fusors, I think Silverbolt's the most iconic. Quick Strike's cool. Don't get me wrong. Quick Strike is cool. But I think that Silverbolt is like the poster child of the Fusor design. And Scott McNeil made an amazing character out of Silverbolt. I like to feel that Thunderhowl that we got in Cyberverse is kind of like the spiritual version of Silverbolt. Like he's like if Silverbolt was in Cyberverse, it'd be Thunderhowl. Downright Superb, R.I.D. George Perez. Yeah, I read that, amazing on Free Comic Book Day. I read that literally a couple of hours before starting the stream. You know what's funny with George Perez? The first 3 comic books I ever owned as a kid. My very first comic book I ever owned was Fantastic Four number 314. Which was Thing versus The Wrecker, I think it was called, on Yancey Street. My second comic book I ever owned was Infinity Gauntlet number 3, George Perez. And George Perez, I mean, Crisis on Infinite Earth, enough said, you know what I mean? That alone, his Wonder Woman run in the 90s was also really good. Dude was a legend. He was on, if you want to see some good George Perez footage, I believe it's on Netflix. There's this show called Collector Showdown. I don't know if anyone has ever heard of it. It's kind of a cringy show. It was a short-lived show where they would take a topic of something that's like, collecting comic books, collecting Star Wars, collecting science fiction, collecting trains. And they'd find 2 hardcore collectors and they do like a trivia contest. And the winner of those contests, it was always like a once-in-a-lifetime prize. And the comic book one, George Perez was one of the prizes. He gave like art, like original art, and he was the judge for it. So you get to see George Perez, and he was a pretty cool dude. Pretty laid-back dude. He was really cool. Really, really cool. Yeah, man, it sucks, though. Because we lost Neil Adams just a couple days ago. Also. But George Perez, it was, if I believe correctly, it was pancreatic cancer. If I read right. That sucks. That sucks, man. Neil Adams too, because Neil Adams did all that amazing Batman stuff, and George Perez did some good Batman. To me, George Perez will always be even though he's a DC guy, George, it'll always be Infinity Gauntlet and Crisis. Those will always be like George Perez books to me. Like that's the first thing. When I think of George, I think of Crisis and I think of Infinity Gauntlet. These like massive crowds of heroes and all that kind of stuff. Those are the 2 books that I'll always associate with him. He's done tons of other stuff. Obviously, New Titans. He did that too. He reinvented the Teen Titans and stuff. But to me, those will always be those 2. He was awesome. Awesome stuff. Never got to meet him, unfortunately. Every comic book convention I was at, he was there. I got to meet Stan Lee. I got to meet Jim Starlin. I got to meet Todd McFarlane. Even reclusive guys you can't get, like Jim Lee or Richard Comley, the creator of Captain Canuck, who can't even do Saturday shows because of his religion and stuff. I got to meet those guys, but never got to meet George Perez. Never did a show here in Montreal, which is a shame because if he was at a show, I would have easily brought my childhood Infinity Gauntlet to him to get signed, just to like, the circle is complete. So that kind of sucks. We got a question. Try to keep it on a higher note now. I'm sorry about that, guys. But it was very important to talk about. Thank you for bringing up Downright Superb. Rodimus Power toy unboxing. Protoman, you have make me curious about why was there never Pretender Starscream was made to Thundercracker. Oh, bro, back in the day, like, repaints weren't a big thing. Today, yeah, like every mold we gets a repaint. But on that same page, like, look at everything that came out between, because obviously like G1, 84, 85, they're all technically repaints from Diaclone and Microman. But look at 86 onward. When did we get a repaint of that Hot Rod mold? Yeah, they retooled it and did the Target Master, but we didn't see anything from that until years later with E-Hobby. Way after G1 was done. Way after Beast Wars and Beast Machines was done. And G2. All of those molds usually got one and done. Thundercracker is Pretender Starscream is no different. They didn't think like, oh, we're going to do all the Seeker Jets. Yeah, sure. I think that to me personally, we didn't really start seeing crazy amount of repaints until we got to G2. Because G2 was like, Transformers isn't in a great place right now. How do we do this on a budget? And so there was all those repaints of G2 stuff. And then even when you're at the tail end of G2 with the GoBot molds, you still had, like, they did the GoBot molds and they repainted those GoBot molds into other characters. Like Optimus Prime was another character and Soundwave was another character. Like, they repainted them like crazy. So it's something where, and then, of course, Beast Wars, geez, almost every single mold in that line got a second iteration somewhere within the Beast Wars banner, either be Japan or in America. It's like, hey, Cheetor, Fox Kids repaint, Black, Shadow Panther, all the multiple variants of Cheetor, Blue Eye, Red Eye, Green Eye, Tigatron. I know I'm forgetting something. Just within that Beast Wars banner of 95 to 99 across the world. So, would not surprise me. But again, the Pretender Starscream, a different time. It was very rare that you saw like one repaint of another mold back then, which is probably would have if they would have done things differently and did it like that back then, they might have saved the longevity of the line because it wouldn't have cost so much in terms of development and putting everything together. Different time, years ago. Downright Superb wants to know, I just want to make sure I didn't miss any other questions. Tom Laney, do you think we will get new tape cassettes in retail on Hasbro Pulse? Yeah, 100%. Because, and I just dropped them. 100%. This guy is going to need all his cassettes. 100%. So they're going to do core class 2-pack, 1-pack for sure. For sure. Maybe not during Legacy, but afterwards for sure. Downright Superb, the question is, will we get new cassettes with non-clear plastic? I think this clear plastic thing was just because of that Energon gimmick. That was all it was, And what they'll do is they'll redo Rewind again, and he'll be in opaque, solid plastic the second time around. For sure. I read Rick here. Normally I don't read non-super chat and member stuff, but I read it here because he wrote here, I met Starlin at LA Comic-Con. I read it quickly and I thought, I met Stalin at LA Comic-Con. Like, Stalin was at Comic-Con? I didn't know he was a fan. I really like the Ninja Turtles. They make me happy. Oh, man. Mike, you heading out for dinner? Take it easy. We're going to open one more, but we'll open it probably. Yeah, you know what? We're going to save it for next week. We already opened up enough. We'll save it for next week. Besides, we only have half an hour left. We'll just take more super chat questions, and then before we call it a night. But while I wait for more super chat questions, again, new episode of the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Be sure to check that out. If you grew up with Marvel and DC toys in the 90s, specifically by Kenner, then you need to listen to this. Awesome stuff. Really cool stuff. Me and Aaron Archer talking for an hour and a half about DC toys and how it's made. You'll learn something, and that's the most important thing. And it's a visual podcast. Again, the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Check that out, yo. You want me to do one more? All right, Mikey, I'll do one more. I'll do one that clearly is, this is clearly a mug. I know it's, because there's stuff that's clearly Transformer stuff. And then there's stuff that's clearly mugs. Is there something would you suggest that I try to open up? Is there one that you suggest I try, or should we save those for another time? Because there's two really big boxes in here. And they scare me because they're big boxes. And you guys are crazy, and that's what scares me about it. You know? Either that or you're going to troll me and it's going to be a whole bunch of Funko Pop, a big box of Funko Pops. I'm going to give away that Duke to somebody. I'm going to give it away to someone who will appreciate it. I have a few G.I. Joe friends in Montreal. My buddy Larego and a few of them. If he doesn't already have it, you know, I'm pretty sure he'll appreciate it. I'm waiting for Mikey's reply. Should I do, what box should I do, Mikey? Should I do one of the mug ones? Because this feels like this is a mug again. We suggest you open the big one with all the Funkos in it. Don't be trolling. Don't be trolling. No. No. Because again, like, just to show you guys off camera, hold on. This big sucker right here. Look at this one. Doesn't sound like Funko Pops. Funko Pops usually are, they don't shift around as much, do they? I don't know. I don't collect them, so I wouldn't know. And then there's another big one here. Oh, this one's really heavy. What the hell? What the hell? Good Lord. Ugh. What is in there? What is in there? Good Lord. No, I'm not opening. We'll save for next week. It's the beginning of the month. I have to make it to my birthday. Let's open one of the mug ones. Where's one of the mug ones? Here we go. So here's one of the mug ones. I'm going to assume it's a mug one. Yeah, so okay, it's still brown. Okay, just making sure. So let's see which mug we got. Man, I'm going to have to make a lot of coffee now. I have all these mugs. Let's see which mug we got this time. We got... Oh, it's yellow. So who is it? Ugh. It is Bumblebee. It is Bumblebee. I'll be honest with you. As much as I appreciate the gifts, I want to give this to Josh Perez. Not related to George Perez. Because he loves Bumblebee. And he would appreciate a Bumblebee mug. But thank you. This one's really nice too. This uses Siege art. We got a subscriber, Captain Mule. Thank you for subscribing, Captain Mule. Yeah, look at that. That's the Siege art, isn't it? Not Siege art, Earthrise art. Correct? Correcto? That's really cool. I'm gonna put this away. Big one? Okay, I'll open up one big one, and then you're going to eat. Oh, God. Which one do I open? And, oh, we got a super chat. Saved me. I'll answer the super chat in a sec. Let's open up this big one. Okay. All right. Look how big this thing is. Good Lord. Look. All right. Find a spot and grab it. That's what she said. Ready, guys? What the bloody hell is this? Mario Kart what now? Good lord. World of Nintendo. What the hell? What is this? What is this? What the fudge is this? This is crazy ass Mario Kart track. Look how big this thing is. That is a loop-de-loop? Super loop. Oh my goodness. Comes with exclusive Yoshi cart. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Hold on. I gotta make sure of something first. There better be Mario Kart in here. Hold on a second. Fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on me. Hold on a second. Gotta be sure here. Can't trust people anymore. End up with a bunch of Funkos. Okay, no, it's good. It's good. Yeah, alright, we're good. It's not Funkos. Titan class Mario. Seriously, guys. What? How am I gonna I want to take a photo of this. We have to put it in the living room. There's the Yoshi. There's the Yoshi. Exclusive Yoshi. Look at that. I think he's riding the B Dasher. Which one is that one? That's the B Dasher? It's the classic kart for Mario. I love Mario Kart. When I bought my old DS back in the day, it was because it had the Mario Kart on it that had online play. Ooh, you could play online. Such a big deal back then. You guys are crazy. You know that? I'm going to have no space in my house left at this point. Oh my God. Starscream's judging me back there. It's like, are you freaking kidding me? Princeton Fowlings 59 with the super chat. What up, Princeton? How we all doing this evening? Will Hasbro ever make the Decepticon Justice Division figures? I think sooner or later we'll get Tarn. I think Tarn is a given. He's such an iconic design, and you know they put a Tarn-like design in Cyberverse, which says he's on the radar. But the others, I don't know. I've said this before. Would Hasbro want to do an electric chair transformer? Maybe a BotBot. BotBot's made a poop transformer, so an electric chair isn't too crazy, I guess. Then again, I don't know. I don't know how crazy Hasbro wants to go. Poop humor is okay now. Capital punishment in Texas is a different story, I guess. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Oh my God. There's too much up. What that other box? Oh, I'm scared to even think about it. Next week we're gonna open up more. No more today. No more. Do you know how much wrapping paper's on the floor over here? I got a lot of cleaning to do now. Next week we'll open up more. I mean, what are we? We're May 7th. We still got 3 weeks left before the month is over. But yeah, we'll see what happens. With the questions. We still got half an hour left. Ugh. Goodness. The big takeaway is this one right here. This one intrigues me. It's crazy too that they don't do instructions anymore. When I opened up Mega Man 11, I was like, did they steal the instructions or forget to pack it in? It's like, no, it's just everything is, you want to read instructions? Go online. Man, oh man. Time for spring cleaning. You know what? The thing that kills me is, I have a storage unit for all my convention stuff that I sell. All the, Marvel DC stuff that I have throughout the years, and, non-Transformer product and comic books and everything. And usually when I get new product from picking and everything, or my parents, when they send me that stuff, I just throw it in the storage locker. And then I'll sort it when a convention comes up. It'll give me an excuse. And then the big V happened and we had no conventions for 2 years, and it's been growing and growing and growing. So when we do the parts party at TFCon, it's going to be epic. That's all I'm going to say. It is going to be crazy how much stuff there's going to be there. It's absolutely nuts. And then I'll be able to alleviate some of the storage locker a little bit. But it's crazy how much need a convention. Need a con, man. We need a con. We need a con. Ugh. So, how is, people have been telling me that people have been stealing heads. Maybe not Blaster. I mean, can you steal Blaster's head? Yeah, you can actually. Yeah, you probably can steal his head. It's on a ball joint. But I don't know. I'm happy about this one, though. That's really cool. That is really, really, really cool. That's a good one. There's going to be, let's put it, I always say, again, follow the Instagram. I get a whole bunch of stuff in the mail, and I'll take nice photos of it. Well, the next TFCon is going to be July in Toronto. And then there's the Chicago one, which is going to be, I don't remember the date. I don't know if I'll go to that one. I don't know yet. I'll see how I feel. But we'll see. We will see what happens. It's a crazy, crazy situation. Crazy situation. The world is crazy. I miss I'm nostalgic for 2019, as crazy as that sounds. Everything was doing great. Podcast was doing great. This was doing great. Conventions, everything. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the future for the USA shows, because Colin moves them around. There's LA, there's Chicago, Washington. I think that the only place that really kind of gets ignored is more of the Mid-South, the Mid-South kind of area. There hasn't really been. I mean, I could see Colin doing Texas one day, like Fort Worth or Fort Wayne even, somewhere that's close by. Does he have the smirk or no? Are you talking about Blaster? No, he doesn't. That's the weird thing, Look at that. That smirk there one was kind of like a freak occurrence. Let me pull up that image there for you guys. I don't know. I do not know what happened with that. I do not know. I mean, if I had the smirk one, I'd be super happy. But I'm super happy just to have my boy Blaster. My first Transformer. October 21st. Thank you, Larry. Larry's one of my co-pilots in the madness of TFCon. And all my other conventions, really, in general. So October 21st for Chicago, TFCon, and July. Larry, what's the July one? I don't have the flyer nearby. Sometime in July. I just go whenever. Whenever in July. It's always July. The last time, I'm trying to remember, because BotCon used to do Texas a lot, because BotCon's head office was in Fort Worth, Texas. So they would do, I think BotCon 2005 was in Texas. BotCon 2014? What was the year that was Machine Wars? I think, or not Machine Wars, Invasion. BotCon 2014 was Texas, and then they did another one too in Texas. And then Fort Wayne, Indiana, they used to do a ton of them in Fort Wayne, Indiana during the Hartman era. So if you were a Mid-South person, BotCon was great for you during the 90s and the early 2000s. Then when FunPub took it over, it was West Coast or Texas or that one time in Florida, which I was not a fan of. Not a fan at all. July 8th. Thank you, Larry. Starts July 8th, which would be the Friday, I would assume, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Fort Wayne. Well, and you know what? Fort Wayne, Indiana was a popular location for BotCon. Because here's like a fun fact that doesn't... Every single convention ever with Transformers, ever, the first show for all of those different conventions always was run where the convention organizer lived. The very first BotCon, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Where was the people who ran that BotCon? They lived in Fort Wayne, Indiana. When I think it was Raksha, when she did BotCon 95, it was right where she lived in that town. I wasn't at BotCon 95, but like I remember like it was, and the same thing. The Fun Publication BotCon, they did it in Texas because it was where, and that was their first year in 2005. Even TFCon, first TFCon near Collins, house. When they did CybCon, which didn't last very long, the guy who ran it lived in New York. Guess where the show was? In New York. So, Detective Ferret says, I'm thinking the smirking face could be used for Twincast. I hope you're right. I really do. I'm worried that it's going to be the T-Rex situation where we get a variant face and then it ends up not being used with anything. I hope so, because Twincast is freaking awesome. The question is who's going to be the repaint? Because Twincast would have, I mean, if it depends. If they paint this, then it won't make a difference, because obviously we're talking the gang molding here. So whatever the color of the clear plastic is here is going to affect the plastic of Eject or Rewind or whoever they're going to want to, characterize that person, that mold. But then if they paint it, it doesn't matter what the clear plastic is. They could do whatever. Where we at? But I mean, I hope we're gonna get Twincast 100% for sure. I would want personally, if they get if obviously if they have to use this mold, I would want Twincast with Rosanna. Good old kiss play. You could barely see her because of the light. Rosanna, the pink songstress of Transformers. Good old Rosanna. But I mean, in terms of like BotCon Florida was just Fun Publication wanting to do Florida, and then they never did it again because it was not a good idea to do it on the Disney lot. It was way too expensive. That's kind of my criticism a little bit of the new BotCon is they're doing it somewhere that's really expensive. And I mean, more power to you if you want to do it somewhere like that. But when you run a con and you do it in a hotel where the hotel rooms are $500 a night, that kind of hurts people. Number one, it hurts people wanting to go to the show. If they do the show, because they have to spend $500 a night, they don't have as much money to spend in the dealer room, so that hurts your dealers. So it kind of hurts everybody. You got to have like a really good system where the trickle-down effect of money leads to the dealers being happy, because the dealers are the lifeblood of a convention. If you don't have the dealers in the dealer room, why would you even go to the con? You wouldn't want to go to a con and the dealer room has like 12 guys in there, and those 12 guys know they're the only 12 guys, so they put all the prices up. Tom Lady, wouldn't heads be cool as accessory pack-ins? I mean, if you do weapon packs or blast effect, heads could work. Even painted tires, they could do a lot because of the. Well, you know what? The thing with heads is they would have to be very easily removable. There's of course, supposedly we're going to be getting some Transformers. Jesus Christ, what's with the camera there? We're going to be getting some Transformers that have, like, you could unscrew the head. So that might be a normal thing in the future, that they'll do something where they'll do multiple heads and stuff like that. Supposedly that Scorponok, toy Scorponok has interchangeable heads, but also could be just a mistake from the factory and the person who stole it doesn't know any better, which he doesn't. I'll just, throw some shade right now. He doesn't know. See, like someone mentioned DairyCon. DairyCon I've never done, but I'd love to do DairyCon. I'd love to go to DairyCon. I can't stress that. I've been to BotCons, I've been to TFCons, I've been to HasCons, but DairyCon is the one I really want to go to. I really want to go to DairyCon just because I feel like it's like, like to me, it was always like BotCon, TFCon, and DairyCon were like the holy trinity of Transformer conventions. And I never got to go to DairyCon. I have DairyCon exclusives. I met DairyCon people at BotCons and stuff, and they've hooked me up with their like Minerva exclusives they had and stuff. But it just seems like a cool, small little Transformer convention that would be so fun to go to. Like those early BotCons and those early TFCons back in the day, I have like nostalgia for them because when they were smaller, it was a different animal. Like think about it, like back in the day at TFCon, you used to you do the show, and then after the show was done, the guests would just kind of just hang out in the lobby with everyone who went to the show because it was so low key. It was so chill. Today, like if the guests go into the lobby, good luck. Michael Bell and all of them, man, like they would have been like mobbed today. It's a different story, but even painted tires, they could do a lot with see, painted tires, the problem with tires is a lot of times the tires, if they're not done in rubber, they're done in POM, which is POM is a very resilient plastic, POM. And the problem with POM, it's used for like joints because joints have to deal with a lot of friction and they don't get damaged. POM. The problem with POM plastic, it's not paintable. Paint doesn't stick to it. You could mold it in a color, but you can't paint POM plastic, and that's the problem. So like a lot of times, like you'll see like here even with Blaster, right? You see how the joints there, they're black. That's a deliberate choice. That's POM plastic, and you can't paint that. There's no paint doesn't stick to it. I think it's polyurethane, whatever they call it. It's Derek Wyatt. Rest in peace, Derek Wyatt. Joshua Perez, I remember, talked with Derek Wyatt, and I think Derek said it was a polyurethane or whatever. I remember Josh and Derek were talking about it once. Where are we at here? DairyCon is pretty small but nice. Not many vendors. I like small shows though. I like going to small shows. When you go to the fan expos, the Comic Cons, the HasCons, the BotCons, when they were the big shows, and now the TF Cons, sometimes you like to go to the really small ones too. I run small shows myself, and I love small shows. I love the small shows. They're fun. They're intimate. They're cool. Tom Laney, thanks again, Proto, for your time. Great as always. Till next time. Thank you, Tom Laney, for the super chats and everything and coming by. Princeton Phalanx 59. It's held at the fairgrounds. Where is the fairgrounds? I do not know, but I would love to go. There we go. Aaron Archer. Polyoxymethylene. Thank you, Aaron. Aaron would know too. Aaron, of course, would know also with the POM plastic. I didn't know you were still here, Aaron. Aaron's just like, he's talking about plastic. Should I probably type? Don't worry, Aaron. I want to announce to people too. This right here doesn't look like much. This is the new streaming device for the podcast in the future. I just picked this up. It's very thin. This is how we're going to be streaming in the future. We're going to be using this as our streaming platform. And it's going to lead to less, like, if you people notice sometimes, like, there's tears, like the glitches, the stream, and everything like that. So we're going to be having a higher quality stream in the near future. And we're going to have guests, because now that we have higher quality stream, we don't have to worry about it crashing. It won't be delayed, so we won't be talking over each other. And Aaron will definitely be a guest in the near future. We'll have a nice surprise stream drawing session. I'm a ghost. Palm bread. Not that kind of palm, Annie. But yeah, we got 10 minutes left. I want to just again promote Symbiote Studios. Get their new pin! Starscream pin, symbiotestudios.com. And then all their other pins, t-shirts, and plush. Get the Shockwave. Look at that Shockwave. Look at that Shockwave. Isn't that cool? Shockwave's the man. Will always be my favorite Decepticon, Shockwave. That's why if I have a Funko Pop, it's going to be Shockwave. You know what I mean? To me, it's always going to be Shockwave and Beast Wars Megatron. Those are my two favorite Transformer villains. But if it's G1, it's Shockwave. If it's Beast Wars, it's Megatron. Oh, so that's why Tom Laney says, "Oh, that's why we don't get painted wheels." Okay, learn something. Learn something new every day. I see autocorrect screwed you over there. I'm the same way. Aaron Archer wants to know what's for dinner. Went to the Asian supermarket today. Picked up a whole bunch of pre-made food because it was free comic book day, so I didn't really have time to do much. And I have a lot of lawn mowing to do tomorrow. So I bought pre-made food. So a Chinese chow mein with shiitake mushrooms with some kind of sauce. And that's it, really. I'm probably going to have some dry seaweed on the side, too. Got to keep my iodine levels low, though. You shouldn't have too much seaweed. White people can't handle seaweed like Asians can. They are not designed to deal with iodine on high levels. I don't know why I'm talking about that. I always pay attention to like that kind of stuff when it comes to food. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be having. And then I'm going to be checking this out tonight too now, because this is burning a hole through me. I'm really curious what this is. It looks really cool. Team 17. Never heard of this game at all, and that makes me intrigued. Transformers 2002 did a super chat. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Hold on. Could we possibly dual mold wheels to avoid paint? Well, yeah, look, you could do wheels in a plastic that can be painted, which does happen. You know what I mean? How do you paint those mags? You know? They do it, but a lot of times they use palm if it works out with the joints. Because, like, let's look here. Let's see. Like, to give an example with this guy. Okay, the palm plastic on this one is the green. They use, like, a dark green. Kind of hard to see with the lighting. Where's my phone? I'll turn on the light there. So they use, like, a dark green. You see where the ratchet joint is? Let me use something sharp. So right there, there's a ratchet joint. So they use dark green as the palm plastic for that one. So that's why they went with black plastic for the wheels, because the palm plastic was going to be dark green. It's the inside baseball, the way the sausage is made when it comes to toys. You know, like sometimes it's the stupid little things. You know? It's the stupid little things. Wait, yeah, Ultra Primal, I do have a Nintendo Switch. What games do I have? Super Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Mega Man 11, obviously. A whole bunch of limited run games that I've not opened yet outside of River City Ransom stuff or River City Girls. Now these ones. What I've been playing, though, there's this great free game called Onigiri on the Switch. It's an MMORPG that's free, and it's this fun open world Breath of the Wild like crafting MMORPG that's 100% free on the Switch. And I've been playing that, and I've been playing and going like, man, I spent like $100 on Breath of the Wild, and I'm spending more time with this game. And I'm playing Bomberman Online every day. I love Bomberman. Bomberman is like the distant cousin of Mega Man in terms of storytelling and the characters. Yeah, I always feel like Bomberman is Hudson / Konami's Capcom Mega Man. Like it's their dude, you know? So I've been playing a lot of Bomberman Online. And that's really it. Not much else. I try to sneak in a little bit of Switch play like an hour or two after I shower before I go to bed. That's usually my time when I get a chance to play, and then busy for the rest of the day and stuff like that. But yeah, now this one, I hope it doesn't steal away all my time, but this looks really cool. Greek. I hope I'm saying that right. It's Greek, right? Like it's trying to be a play on Greek. That's cool. But yeah. 5 minutes left, people, in the stream. Hope we all had a good time. We have 5 minutes left for super chats, and then I'm going to have to clean up a ton of wrapping paper that's everywhere. It's going to fill up my recycling bin, and I got to make sense of all of this. It's true, I got a home circuit now, too. Look at that. That is so cool, man. That is cool. Get started, download live circuit game. So you have to download the game? Okay. Sure. Proto, do you have interest in Moon Knight? Ugh. You know what? I'll be honest with you. My friends were asking me if I watched it, like local friends who are big into Marvel, and I'm huge into Marvel. Here's the thing, like, when we start getting into like those C-list characters, like no one cared about Moon Knight in the 90s. No one cared about Moon Knight in the 80s, and neither did I. And yeah, maybe Moon Knight's a great show, but there's so many shows that I need to watch that require like 12 episodes or 12 hours of my time or something. And I mean, it's the same thing. Like when I found out that new Batman movie's 3 hours, I was just like, forget that. Maybe on like a drunken Sunday or something, I'll see it or whatever. But like, you know, like if it's on TV and it's like a cut down version, there's certain movies. It's like, I don't have the time for it. Like I really don't. It's just to sit down and it's Moon Knight. Wolverine's one of my favorite Marvel characters, and I didn't even see his movie in theaters. All three of his movies, I waited and watched it at home. And it's like, but yet am I going to go out of my way to watch Moon Knight? Yeah. And from what I was told, it's not even the original Moon Knight from the comics. It's another version of him. So on top of that, I'm even lost even more because I'm only familiar with the original Moon Knight, and this is another one with a different origin story and all kinds of stuff. And I don't know, Disney's losing me. I think they're pulling at strings at this point. They recently showed their lineup of like everything for the next 2 years, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll see you later, please. I got some water on me there. Proto Man, personally, how do you see collecting in 10 to 15 years from now? Do you think it'll still be going strong? I firmly believe that in 10 to 15 years, it's going to be more expensive to be a collector, but it'll also be more of an adult hobby. I think that, and when you're referring to collecting, I hope you're referring to toy collecting. I think it's going to be more of an adult hobby. Kids are going to be looking more at video games and stuff like that, which, truth be told, is more low cost to make. I mean, look what's happening with, you know, our packaging and our product. Like they're trying anything they can to reduce cost. Like losing the window and paper here and paper there. If they could squeeze a little bit to save money so that they could somehow still keep an MSRP. But I mean, look at our MSRPs right now. I mean, let me just pull up the old list just to make everyone depressed. Let's do that, shall we, before we're done. Where is the prices? Where is it? You know, like, I mean, here's a reality, guys, you know? Like, 2 years ago, it was $9.99 for our core class. Now it's $11.99. Deluxes used to be $22.99. Now they're $24. Look at that Titan class, $30 plus increase. So we're living in a world today where the hobby is getting very expensive, and it's going to shift to who is going to participate in that hobby. And kids, you know, think about when you were a kid, you know, like if you were a kid and your allowance is $5 or $10, You can't even afford a core class figure. Because I remember when I was a kid, when I used to get my allowance, I used to get $5 allowance. And $5 allowance would still get me a Star Wars Power of the Force figure. But Star Wars Black Series today is $24.99, whatever. You know, it's ridiculously expensive. Probably even more now. I don't pay attention really to Black Series, but you know, like it's a different era today. And I feel that it's going to really kind of like, it's going to shave out people in a lot of ways. I feel that there's going to be, I don't want to say it's going to be a rich man's hobby. I don't want to say that, but it's going to be people who really, if they are toy collectors, they're dedicating a large sum of their income to that hobby. Where I remember collecting Armada and Energon, working at a Burger King paycheck, Burger King minimum wage paycheck, Armada and Energon toys, buying everything as it came out. Like, oh, this that's out, boom, 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 and still had money left in my paycheck. I could buy a whole wave, and it cost maybe $130, and my paycheck was $500. Today, like, let's do the math. Like, 4 deluxes at $24.99 plus tax, you're already over $100, and you haven't even talked about getting the core class, the Voyager, or the leader classes yet. The whole first wave. So it's a different era. I understand inflation. I understand the plastic increase cost. Trust me, guys, I know that. But there's other factors too. I don't want to get too deep into it, but it's going to be crazy. Mike Rosen, I have to hop into Gigawatt and go back in time. Brother, I'll go back in time with you. I always say to people, if I could relive something on loop forever, it would be 1997. It's when wrestling was the best. It's when music was pretty good, and you could still listen to 80s music too. Video games were peak soul for me. The internet was just enough developed to enjoy, but not super developed to the point that the normies were also part of it, gucking it up with social media. So, like, you know, give me 1997 internet. You know, I would go back in time with you. Take me with you. Prince of Phalanx says 10 to 15 years from now, I'll be too old to continue collecting. I hear you, brother. I hear you. Collector Prime, thanks again for your time and your knowledge for a Saturday night. And we are done. Thank you, Collector Prime, for reminding me. We're at the 2-hour mark. So again, thank you, everyone, for coming to the live stream. There it is. There it is. The spinning Bumblebee. Thank you all for coming once again to another Transformer Slag podcast Saturday night live stream main event. We peaked at about 157 people today. The ones who survive and stay to the end, that don't have to go to bed or whatever, you are the chosen ones. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Thanks for supporting everything we do. Again, if you want to support more, we have Patreon down there. If you want to join, if you don't like Patreon, we have the YouTube membership. Those were all the green names that you're seeing on the right there. All my YouTube members, thank you for supporting the podcast. Thanks again. There'll be more news this week, as always. Thanks again to Mikey and Louie, who already are eating right now, probably eating good, for all the presents. I'm going to be doing this now. And cleaning. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Next week, hopefully, we'll be on the new system. We'll still have more or less the same camera angle, but the quality is going to look better, hopefully. And that opens us to being able to stream in other rooms in the future, which, stay tuned for that. Streaming from the video game room. Streaming from the manga room. Streaming from the kitchen. Well, maybe not the kitchen. That's kind of boring. But get ready for that in the future, too. And more importantly, streaming from conventions. Stay tuned for that. Thanks, everyone, for coming by. This is Protoman. This is the Transformer Slag podcast. And take care of yourself and enjoy the rest of your evening. Roll out.